you guys are raising wethers, I'm sure you're gonna have to get them ready for show day. So first you wanna make sure you work on their hair, because like the more hair they have in their legs, the better. And you wanna make sure they're always clean. That's like 100% what helps get them ready as far as hair. So try to clean them at least once a week if you can. And I would try to rinse them at least every other day if you can through the summer. It helps them to keep them cool, and it keeps their hair clean. And when their hair's clean, it'll help them to grow hair thicker and faster. So, do you guys have a blower?
No, not yet.
Okay. So when you rinse, it's best to go with a blower. But if you don't have a blower or anything, use a shimmy and just get the hair as dry as you can.
Okay.
That way, when you do that, it'll spread the hairs out, and then you have hair or room for more hair to grow up through.
Okay.
So it grows thicker. But like I said, it's best to try to keep them as clean as possible, and that'll help your hair to grow tremendously. So another thing that we do, we condition, and we use stuff called Clean Sheen and the Revive Light. That's there's Revive or Revive Light. We prefer the Revive Light because it's not as hard on the skin. And when you get conditioner, you need to make sure you look at the directions and stuff, because some conditioners require wash out in a certain amount of time, otherwise it will burn up hair really quick. So then we have their hair ready. We go to show day. We're going to need to shear them. So when you shear them, you'll want to shear everything: head, neck, back, everything, except for you want to go about an inch above the knee. You want to stop, and then right at their hawk line, you want to stop, and you want to leave the hair under that long. That way you can fit it up on show day. So what we use we use listers, and there's all sorts of different kinds of shears. We use the listers, and we use coat blades because it'll leave enough hair that you can't see the skin, but because you don't want them to be too long, but you don't want them to show pigment from the skin underneath. So that's what we use. When you go over, make sure you're thorough. I've had multiple goats where I sheared them and then showed up for show day and realized that I missed a couple spots. And then when you try to shear them again, it's tough because you kind of have to shear the whole thing, otherwise you'll see the lines from where you sheared. So it's best to do that. Then on show day, after you shear them, you'll want to baby powder them. So most of the time we'll take Revive Light and then just a little bristle brush. We'll spray them down with some Revive Light. And then just brush it in. Sometimes it'll be a little damp after you're done, but it's okay. Brush it in. And then what we'll do to make them look white, we'll use baby powder, and we'll apply baby powder all across their body except for where it's brown. And we will use the baby powder, and it'll make them look a little fuller, and it will also white is yeah. Another thing we'll do on the black, where you want to make the color pop, you use pink oil. It's an oil, and when you put it on and rub it in, it makes it show up way better. Like, it just makes it shine, and it'll add some show presence. Now, after you're done with the body, you'll have to fit legs. So we use tail adhesive, and this is a comb that I use, but a lot of people will use just this comb. It's from Sullivan's, just a plain old livestock comb, and they work great. and then we'll use tail adhesive. So when you're fitting legs, you really have to be careful because if you get too much of this in there, like you cannot comb through it. So you have to spray a little, comb a lot. So I'm just gonna lightly mist it, and then as I pull up, it'll make that hair stick out. And you want to comb from all angles. That way you get as much of the hair straight up as possible. And when you're applying adhesive, you always want to be about your comb's width away at least, if not more. So on the front leg, what you want to do, you want to pull this hair back, straight back, to make like a fin, and then the front you just want to pull straight up, and the sides. And as you can see, when I pull this back, it creates kind of a line there, but you just need to pull the hair straight up and kind of go straight up, and then do a little curve, and it will help blend in that line. Okay, so then on the back legs, what you want to do, about straight down the leg, you'll want to pull a fin back. And then straight up the front, you want to pull it up and then pull another fin forward. So on this one, you just want to pull a straight fin back and then pop the rest of it up. This, you want to pull two fins. And then there'll be a line in between, like right there. Then you'll just want to apply a little adhesive and then just fit straight up right there. And that'll help to hide that line and make it look a little more natural.
Move that can, would you, buddy?
So what is the purpose of making the hair stand out on the bottom part of the legs? What are we
Okay, so what we're trying to do here, when you are, because I'll clip it down here in a second, but you want to make them look like they fit together as well as possible. So like, there might be structural issues, like let's say this pasterns broke down a little bit. What you can do is you can clip them and make it look more, you can hide those flaws that they might have in the structure, and it helps them to make them look bigger footed, bigger boned, and it just helps with the show presence. So right after that, I will clip down their legs, but first I want to use powderful. So powder it's a powder packed into a can, and what you do is you'll spray it on the legs, just light mist, and it just makes the legs like expand. That powder sticks to the hair and it makes it look bigger. So I'll apply a light I'll apply a light mist of it over it before I clip, and that just helps you to see those hairs, the ones that you need to clip off. And now I'm going to use these clippers. These are AGC 2 speeds, so they're just, they have Andes 5 speeds. You can get them just about, I mean, these I think I got my first year or second year, and they were 75 bucks. So they're nothing, I mean, you can get pretty much any price range you want. Now, for fitting the legs, I use the Super Blocking Blade by Andes. The Super Blocking Blade, it's a very tight cutting blade, so I mean, wherever you touch it, it's pretty much gonna cut. So you gotta be careful with it, but it's a great blade to get exactly how you want it. And then before I cut through that adhesive, I'm gonna use this Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus it's meant to break down the legs, and I'm just gonna spray it on the blade, and it'll help the blade go through that adhesive, and it won't get stuck or gummed up. Okay, so on this front leg, what I'm wanting to do on the front is I just want to take a line down. With a gentle curve. And I want to cut it kind of close down by the foot. That way it looks straighter. Now, one of the important parts of fitting legs is you want to make it look even on all angles. So when I'm going around, I'll just move myself around and find those different angles, and you just want to make it blend all together. And then on the inside of this knee, you want to make sure that you cut really tight, because the tighter you cut the inside, you don't want to show skin, but you want to cut tight, and it will help to make that chest look wider. You will have less hair and more room down through the center of the chest, and it'll just help to make the chest wide. Now down the back, you want to go straight down. Okay, now when I'm done fitting this down, I'm gonna get the powder full again, and I'm going to apply a thicker coat. Gonna help to, like you see, make that leg look expanded and bigger. And then just when you do this, you can, I mean, if you see anything, you can make any touch-ups. So like if you come here, there's when I clipped straight down here and then straight down here, but there's kind of a line. You want to make sure you got those blended together to make it look as natural as possible. And if you do this and you ever think you're making a mistake, it's okay. You know, like you saw earlier when the goat was kicking, you know, sometimes it's tough. I mean, the goats don't always cooperate. So, I mean, just kind of blend it in as best you can, but don't make too much of a big deal about it, because chances are you're not going to lose if it comes as close to nicking the leg. I mean, it shouldn't come down to that. So just do your best.
What about right down there by the hoof, right above? Does that have to be trimmed off? Or?
Yeah, what I'll do is just set your blade on the stand and just go around in a little circle. You don't want to do it too high and expose their foot, because the blade will cut them. So you just want an even line around their hoof. If you guys have any questions, just ask.
I have a few.
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. No, go ahead. No.
So, on the front leg, it's gonna be the same thing. Apply
back leg.
The back leg. It's gonna be the same thing. Apply a thin coat of powder full, like I already did, and then so on this, you want a gentle swoop from here all the way down here, but you want to cut tighter at the hoof, because when you get this, you want that to be straight down. It'll make their pastures look better. So, like right here, you see how it comes down and then kind of bumps
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You don't want it to do that. The least it does that, the better. Because that's kind of a symbol of weaker pastures. Some will do it much worse than others. But if you can fit that out, that's the best case scenario. So start up here, make sure you blend it into the leg. Then take it straight down to the hoof. And just like the other one, you want to look at all angles. And just like the front leg, you want to cut that inside pretty close.
Evan, they're just about finished up. So if you want to finish your back leg
Then-
there.
So we talked about using that cover coat blade over there on the does, and that's what we're going to shear the wether's entire bodies with. And it's a kind of a tapered blade, but on a set of shears instead of a 1/4 inch, and we'll clip their whole bodies with that. That's, instead of trying to pay the money for that tapered blade and then show wethers and does, it probably makes sense to go ahead and get you a set of shears with that cover coat blade, and then it becomes a cool purpose to use on necks and bellies on the does, then
And then on the back, on this back fin, you want to go. You want to swoop down in a gentle slope, almost even with the front leg, or the front part of the leg.
Evan, you
But kind of how he's got this one dressed down here would be a similar deal that we would do down on the does in terms of, I think he used tail adhesive and just sprayed that in there. I think it's really important, we'll just go over that again down here. When you're spraying that adhesive in, a lot of people want to get way up close with it and just slather it in there. You want to make sure you stay about 1.5 feet back and just kind of mist it in. And they always say, you know, probably comb 3 times for every mist that you put in. Just make sure it's going smooth and fluid and that you're not getting it gummy per se and all wadded up. That, I guess, makes it difficult to get clipped right. It also just kind of takes away from the general appearance as well. Evan's gotten pretty good at making those things smooth and fluid, and so like this is kind of where we want to be on a doe in terms of making sure their knees tight and smooth and it's not big and bushy. If you look over on the other side where it doesn't have it kind of smoothed up, this is kind of what we were talking about in terms of being too bold and too blocky. We want to make sure that we make it really smooth there at their hock and very just, you don't want to make any just hard lines, if you will. You want to make it all smooth and kind of flow together.
Then last thing you want to do, apply powderful. The people are already here, but powderful, you want it's powder packed in a can. You just want to apply it to leg. It helps to it'll attach to the hair, and it just helps to make it look bigger and fuller, and it makes it wider. It just gives it a good show appearance. To the people that were already here, but to everyone else, when you are fitting legs, if the goat kicks or something and you make a nick in the leg, don't fret about it. I mean, it happens. Anybody who's fit will tell you that. Just do your best at that point. It'll be okay.
Does anybody have any questions?
What length blade are you using on this one? Is that 1/4 inch or?
No, I'm using a super blocking blade.
Okay.
So you can get them from, it's Andy's blade. It's just a tighter cutting blade, or a more precise blade. You know, it'll pretty much cut whatever you're touching, so it helps to carve stuff up like that.